Hey everyone, Miss Sparrow here. Today's lesson is about understanding absolute value. Here's your shortcut code to put into the search box. Okay, so today we're learning about, relearning. So everything we're going to be doing, you already know. So this is just to help you and give you a refresher. So we're going to be relearning about absolute value. And absolute value, remember, measures what? The distance from where? From zero. Since it measures the distance from zero, that means distance is always what? Positive. So absolute value measures the distance from zero. So the distance that number is from zero. So remember, absolute value shows the distance from zero, how far that number is from zero. That's what it is. And because it's distance, it's always positive. So remember in class, I would step forward and I stepped backward. And no matter whether I stepped forward or backwards, didn't matter, I was still moving. So those are steps. Okay. So that's, oops. Okay. So here we go. So it says this number line shows a point at 5. What is the distance from 0? So we can see 5 is here, 0 is here. If we were to count, we would see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what is the distance from 0? 5. So what is the absolute value that always has to be positive because it shows distance? 5. It's 5 from 0. Okay? Here's our next question. This number line shows a point at negative 20. What is the absolute value of negative 20? Okay. So now they've thrown in something a little different. They've thrown in this negative sign. That negative sign means, this is how you would say, what is the absolute value of negative 20? We already know the absolute value has to be positive. Oops. Has to be positive. And so it is 20 away from 0. Yes, it's a negative number, but it's still 20 away from 0. Okay, next question. Look at the points on the number line. Which number has a larger absolute value? So if it helps you to write it out, then write it out. So if I said, what's the absolute value of 6? You would say 6. What's the absolute value of 8? You would say 8. Which number is larger? 8. So it has a larger absolute value. Okay, last question. Look at the points on the number line. We have negative 50 and positive 20. Which number has a larger absolute value? Go ahead and write that out yourself or think about it yourself for a couple of seconds, and then I'll show you. Okay, I hope you're ready. So you can write it all the way out, which I suggest, just so you don't get confused. So we have the absolute value of negative 50. We know what absolute value means. It's distance away from 0. And because it's distance, it always has to be positive. So that's the absolute value of 50. And the absolute value of 20 is 20. The larger number is 50, which goes with that negative 50 there. And we can see, I like how they put it on a number line for you, because you can see how far. Which one is further? The one that has a larger absolute value is also going to be further from 0. And we can clearly see that negative 50 is further from 0 than positive 20. I hope this helps, guys. Go ahead and get that 100 on this lesson. Remember, the code is TLR. Good luck.